What's the best theory on UFOs or aliens you've ever heard? Aliens landed once in Africa, got eaten by lions, planet now marked as dangerous by the galactic feds. That if any civilization elsewhere in the universe had the technology to reach us, for any reason, they did be very likely to also be able to disguise their presence from our detection methods, that is, they could observe us close up using nanotech, microscopic biological spacecraft etc., and we had never know. That Greys are not fully biological, but rather remotely controlled androids, or that they are biological but their gray appearance is a suit and not the actual body. Imagine other life forms looking at our astronauts saying, "Here come the marshmallow cyclops creatures again." The best two I have heard: we do not allow ourselves to contact lost tribes in the Amazon or other wild places. Extraterrestrials may have similar laws on a galactic scale. We split the atom, but made weapons out of them instead of trying to reach the stars. They leave us alone out of fear that we will destroy ourselves if war accidentally breaks out. Aliens don't necessarily mean an intelligent civilization. Yeah, alien just means a living organism not from Earth. So if we found a plant, fungus, protozoa, bacteria, etc. on another planet, it would be an alien. Yeah, but still, imagine we find a mushroom on another planet. Wouldn't be as cool or as scary as meeting with an humanoid civilization, but still. There are so many star systems with potentially inhabitable planets out there that the chances that we have been the only life in the universe is extremely slim. The question, instead, is whether life arising elsewhere has managed to survive destruction and remain alive today such that they might be able to contact us. That is to say, there have probably been countless civilizations for the past several billion years that simply have not made it. That life in the universe could be so unrecognizable to us that we wouldn't even register it as being alien life. What if life on another world was not carbon-based, but another element? How would we even know what to look for, since our definitions and descriptions of life are based on a completely different perspective? UFOs are higher dimensional objects moving through our dimension. Like, if we moved a 3D object through 2D space to a 2D being, it would look crazy weird. A hollow sphere would start as a dot, then look like a hula hoop that starts small, gets big, then small again. They did have no idea what they were looking at, so WTF would a higher dimension object look like passing through our 3D dimension? It might rapidly change shape or appear to move at incredible speed as the whatever moved through our space-time. Gravity would not affect it, I do not think. It would not appear to have any form of propulsion. They came, they saw, they were not impressed. If aliens are on this planet, they are likely using the ocean as a place to hide. I have come across two that make sense to me. Neither denies the possibility of aliens, but both posit that humans and aliens will likely never interact in a meaningful way. One, aliens are long gone. The odds that humans will cross paths with another intelligent life form is slim. What if the aliens we are looking for are an extinct trace of beings that existed millions of years ago? Maybe their civilization peaked during the age of the dinosaurs or even earlier, who knows? They may have visited Earth when the most complex life was a single-celled organism and moved on. To any aliens that reach Earth are lone travelers. Our species is just no exploring space travel, and it takes a long time to reach other planets. Imagine if another species, in another solar system, just a few hundred years ahead of us technologically has sent out a one-way exploration mission. They could not possibly make it to Earth and back in one lifetime. The best they can hope for is to observe, collect data, and send it back to be received by the next generation. The movie Contact actually makes a good case that we have not been visited by UFOs or aliens. Our most powerful broadcasts have traveled at best a few dozen light years from this planet. To put that into perspective, if the Milky Way galaxy was the same size as North America, the Earth would be a speck of dust floating around a knick-knack on a living room table in a house in Arizona. Our most powerful broadcast signals have made it to the end of the driveway, or at best across the street. If there were a hyper-intelligent species 2 blocks over desperately listening for signs of intelligence in the neighborhood, they would not even know we existed for at least a couple thousand years. When they finally picked up our signal, our first television broadcast, it would take their response another couple thousand years to arrive here. That there is no one else and we are those advanced aliens. The universe is still in its toddler stage in age and we are the first intelligent people. It is interesting to think how true this could possibly be. I have never considered this, and on first pass I brushed it off, but then it got me thinking, at some point, a species had to start somewhere, and what if we are the advanced aliens? We may not feel like it, and it sounds odd to say it, but it is possible. It is just like starting a new MERP. You may only be level 25,999, but you were the first player to log on and are the one who is highest level, has the most strength, speed, etc. It feels like it is hard to believe, but one day you will be the top player, assuming you did not quit the game. I don't know, but someone on here posted about something happening this year in July. They posted it like 7 or so years ago. I am looking forward to some action this summer. There is a very simple explanation as to why abductees independently described gray aliens as looking the same. There are no aliens and no abduction took place, but rather they are abstracting residual memories left over from being infants and looking up at adults. Before an infant's visual cortex is fully developed, an adult human looking down at them would appear rounded and gray in color with large eyes. Cross that indistinct memory with a sleep state subconscious and standard psychological patterns and boom, alien abduction. It also explains the sensation of being lifted, examined and probed. Brian Cox says at least that's who I heard this from first. Solution to the Fermi paradox. TLDR, any most civilization advanced enough to get even close to interstellar travel becomes too energy intensive and destroys themselves their planet before they get far enough for interstellar contact. That they are from a breakaway human civilization that is keeping their secrets to themselves. Essentially, that some place like Wakanda is real, or that Jules Verne really is not science fiction, it is actually science fact. When the rest of the world was making do with steam-powered industrialization, someone figured out anti-gravity and zero-point energy from the interaction between electromagnetism and gravity. So they kept this technology for themselves, and have been zipping around the rest of us keeping an eye on things. I don't believe it, but that they live in underground caves and dwell primarily in Antarctica. I don't remember the complete theory, but people say they are an advanced race adapted for life underground, and that they have advanced machinery because they have been living on the Earth longer than humans. We are not the first, we are the aliens that we are looking for. Mammals are not native to Earth. The asteroid was a massive chunk of our planet and we populated the Earth after that. Is that a theory that I believe? No, not at all. Is it a good concept for a sci-fi movie? Yes. You know that trope in sci-fi shows, where they stumble upon the networks of the founders or the ancients or the architects, a civilization so advanced, long ago, that traveled the stars. That is us. We are seemingly alone because we are the first. Maybe they will stumble upon us in a million years. The U.S. military has intentionally orchestrated alien sightings and kidnappings, as well as funded UFO religions and conspiracy theories, to prevent people from being taken seriously should they happen to notice some experimental planes and so forth. There are no aliens, but there are U.S. military agents in goofy spacesuits who mutilate cattle and probe deranged people to encourage them to make fools of themselves. All the UFO sightings throughout history are just humans from the future on a time-traveling safari meant to observe how we were in the past. They are supposed to keep out of sight, but thanks to human mechanical errors there have been hiccups with their cloaking which have resulted in being seen. That is why there have always been so many reports of them throughout history, but there has never been an attack. It is just us. Also, the reason why we do not see many examples of UFOs now, even through pretty much everyone has a camera, is because people are not that interested in this time period, since we already document aspects of human life all the time. That we are the first and/or the most advanced life forms at this moment in space-time. I don't remember where I heard it, maybe some NPR program, but it's interesting to consider. We often discount the idea that we could ever be that special, but there is always the chance that we are. Someone had to be the first, that someone might just be us. If you wanted to explore space, you had sent technology instead of risking the life of a scientist. The little gray-green men and other now cliché depictions are just biological computers that they can control, and that is why they look so simplistic and unidentifiable. Reminds me of Robot or droids. That they are extraterrestrials, not extraterrestrials. They are some type of human evolutionary outcome from the future. It's why they look humanoid. If evolution were to theoretically continue, time travelers or dimension travelers may explain why they are not violent, obvious, or intrusive. They are just what humans become in X years. Just a theory, but I think it holds weight. I had a fun theory that Earth is one of a few life-generating planets, and that aliens are actually Earth-originated beings who have moved on to settle the galaxy. Any visits are them checking in on our development, and eventually we will be advanced enough to join and make way for another wave. Not really a theory, I believe, more the basis for a story. Consider subscribing if you enjoyed this video and if you want to see more of Reddit Universe.